Hi everyone, welcome. I will get started in just a minute. Let's wait for our other registrants to join us. All right, hi everyone who's here, welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join our webinar. If you're new here, welcome to this month's edition of our webinars. My name is Tina Chandra, and I'm the marketing manager for Twarna. In this edition of our monthly webinars, we'll be talking about how to turn your idea into a suite app. Now, are you currently addressing a specific gap or problem area for your customers? Imagine amplifying its impact not just for your clientele, but for the entire NetSuite customer base. This webinar is your gateway to understanding how converting your solution into a suite app can revolutionize your business and benefit the broader NetSuite ecosystem. Before we start, a brief introduction to our company, Twarna. We were founded in 2007 and we've been providing support managed services and integration services for NetSuite clients worldwide. To extend NetSuite's platform functionalities, we have developed a number of suite apps that you can find on SuiteApp.com using the search term Twarna, which is the name of our parent company. Like I mentioned, we do these webinars monthly, and if you would like to catch up on a previous session, please head on over to our website, www.twarna.com, and head on over to the webinars archive page where you can check out what we've done in the past and catch up with all our past sessions. Okay, on to our speakers for today. First up, we have Uday, who's our scripting practice lead. He has over 17 years of IT experience and is responsible for providing technical services to customers, including designing and building solutions, enhancements, customizations, and ad hoc requests. We also have a guest speaker who's our client, Amir Afzal, who's product manager at High Radius Corp. And you'll be hearing from him a little later on in the session. All right, let's get started. Hey, Uday.
Hi, Tina.
Now, a small note to our audience before we begin. If you have any questions, please do post them in our chat box and we'll answer them as we go. We'll also be hanging around for a couple of minutes at the end if you have some questions that come up.
Hi, everyone. Wish you all a very happy new year and thank you for joining us today. So, in this webinar, we'll talk about how to turn your idea into a suite app, and we'll try to cover various topics like how to identify the right idea, steps involved in converting this idea into a suite app, and how we can help you with this process. So, there could be various reasons that could lead us towards building a suite app for NetSuite. Some of them could be, to build industry specific solutions or to improve user experience, or maybe to automate some of the manual processes, or maybe even to integrate with external third party systems, right? So, however, if you notice keenly, the underlying reason that is common behind all these ideas is trying to address a gap in the functionality offered by NetSuite. So all the suite apps probably do the same thing. In some way, they're all trying to address a gap in NetSuite, and that should probably be the first step for any new suite app idea. So although it all starts with an idea, Uh, we can validate the idea as many times and as quickly as possible before we decide to spend time, effort, and money on it. So when we come across a business gap that keeps repeating, it's time to probably come up with an idea or a solution that can solve this problem. And once we have an idea or solution in place, it is then time to validate the potential of this idea. So remember, while NetSuite is a leading and a robust cloud-based ERP and boasts of a great ecosystem, there could still be some challenges that businesses might encounter. So NetSuite out of the box might not be able to solve all the unique scenarios of all kinds of businesses, and that is where users might come across a few gaps between what NetSuite is offering and the actual business need. So these are the gaps that need to be bridged with the help of a custom solution or a suite app.
Uday, can every customization or solution be turned into a suite app?
So, good question, Tina. So, this is the most common pitfall, that we should be wary of and understand that not every customization is probably an is probably a perfect idea for a suite app. So, all of us have worked on numerous customization projects and continue to do so on a daily basis. But most of the solutions are very specific to one customer's business needs or problems. And therein lies the difference between a customization and a suite app. So it is important to do a proper analysis of the gap and the solution to uh, and identify a solution uh, to address this gap and the potential of the solution that can be converted into a suite app. There will be a few cases where some of these customizations do have the potential to be converted into a suite app. However, even in such cases, it is important to understand that the customization cannot directly be turned into a suite app. So, in our experience, we noticed that a customization or a custom solution is only about 20% of the suite, 20% of a suite app. So, there is a lot more work involved in converting this customization into a suite app.
Uday, how do we validate our ideas or solutions?
Yeah. So, from our own experience, right, Tina, so we think there are three important questions that can probably help you with the validation of your idea. Um, First question being, is this a recurring need in the market? And what is the sample of the market that we interacted with, trying to understand this gap? The second question is, can we market this idea? Is there a pool of clients out there that we can tap into who has a need for this solution? And the third question is, do we have a good understanding of the core problem? Do we have a solution for this problem? And, can we calculate the value to the customer for this solution? So if the answer is a resounding yes to all these three questions, then we can probably say that we have a good idea and the idea has a potential to grow into a suite app. Now, also remember, your idea need not always be a solution to a gap in NetSuite. It can also be something that enhances the user experience or it makes things easier for the NetSuite users. For example, you could have a third party application that fulfills a business need and needs to connect with NetSuite for the same. So you can always think about building a NetSuite connector to this external application and also convert it into a suite app that will help the wider NetSuite customer base.
Okay. So, why should we build a suite app?
Yeah. So now that we've gone through the ideation process and have a potential idea on our hands that we think is a good fit for a suite app, the next step is trying to understand a little more about NetSuite's ecosystem and the suite app marketplace. So the suite app marketplace is NetSuite's official marketplace for suite apps, which are custom applications developed by NetSuite partners and developers. So this marketplace serves as a centralized hub where NetSuite users can discover, evaluate, and acquire suite apps to enhance their NetSuite experience. Um, NetSuite currently has over 36,000 or close to 37,000 customers, and the customer count is increasing at a rate of 26%. So that's a huge customer base and target audience for a new suite app. There are also, I think, there are currently around 700 suite apps that are published on the marketplace. NetSuite provides tremendous opportunity for growth through the suite app marketplace and its vast customer base.
What could be some of the challenges that we might face during the course of building a Suite app?
Yeah. So now that we have an understanding of the NetSuite ecosystem and marketplace, we could look at the challenges, right? So while the idea of building a suite app seems lucrative, there are a few challenges that need to be handled during this process. So first and foremost, a suite app needs to start with a sound design and a technical architecture. So you will need experienced architects who can help with this process. And then you'll need a good NetSuite development team. So NetSuite development has a learning curve, and new or junior developers may find it difficult to grasp the intricacies of NetSuite development tools like SuiteScript, SuiteTalk, etc. So it is important to have a knowledgeable and experienced technical team to build the Suite app. And then we have the certification process for Suite apps, which requires meeting specific standards. And most of our users find this certification process to be rigorous and time consuming. Another challenge is getting dev accounts to start working on your ideas and performing feasibility checks. You won't be able to get a dev account without becoming an SDN partner first. So these are only a few initial challenges that we briefly touched upon. There could be many more that you have to navigate through before actually completing the build of a suite app. So we at Twarna can help you navigate through all these challenges and help you reach your goal of building a suite app.
Let's touch a bit about who we are, Uday.
Yeah. So I think it's time to understand about Twarna. So Twarna, we've since our inception in 2007, Twarna has been dedicated to revolutionizing cloud-based enterprise applications, specializing in cutting-edge solutions, cloud solutions for ERP and CRM platforms. So our dynamic team is well versed in technologies such as NetSuite, Salesforce, and also iPaaS solutions like Boomi, MuleSoft, and Celigo. So we've been a Suite Cloud Developer Network partner since 2014. So we excel in developing solutions to extend the NetSuite platform. Now, for the benefit of our audience, a Suite Cloud Developer Network is a program provided by Oracle NetSuite to support developers in creating Suite apps. The SDN is designed to facilitate collaboration, provide resources, and offer support for developers working within the NetSuite ecosystem. We have 8 apps listed on SuiteApp.com, all expressly designed to streamline business processes and increase NetSuite user productivity. Now, backed by years of industry expertise, Twarna doesn't just stop at being a NetSuite solution provider. We are your trusted partner in delivering complete cloud solutions, right from purchasing NetSuite licenses to seamless implementation and continuous support. Well beyond the go live phase, Twarna is your key to unlock success in the cloud. We have 16 plus years of platform expertise and been an SDN partner for close to 10 years now. We have dedicated verticals for product development, custom engineering, platform, e-commerce, and integration teams, which covers the breadth of NetSuite expertise. Our technical teams, we have a strength of over 40 plus technical consultants possessing niche skills and expertise of working with SuiteScript, SuiteTalk, etc. And like I already said, we have 8 published Suite apps on Marketplace, and we also developed apps for some of our customers that are also published on Marketplace. So considering Our years of experience with NetSuite and specifically with developing Suite apps, the question should probably be, why not Tvarna? Okay. Now, moving on, let's dive a little deeper into how we can help you specifically. So, as discussed earlier, Suite app development includes multiple steps, and we can help you at each and every stage. So, let's try to understand what these various stages are, and and how we can help you at each of these uh, steps. So, I think the first and foremost step is the architecture design. So we need to clearly outline the purpose of the Suite app and the problem or the gap that the Suite app is trying to solve. So we should be able to list down the features and functionalities that should be included in this Suite app, and the core problem that the Suite app is trying to address. Now, we have to design the architecture of the Suite app in such a way that all the use cases are covered in an efficient way. Um, the most common mistake during this phase is to design the app for a problem for one customer. We need to keep in mind that when we are building a Suite app, this app needs to be generic enough to cover the requirements of multiple clients in the future. Another key area that is missed out is to consider the performance of the app. Performance of the app also needs to be considered for building a good Suite app. Now, it is obvious that the design phase plays the most important role in the foundation of a successful Suite app creation. And this should be handled by expert and senior architects. So, our architects at Tvarna can help you with this phase and make sure you take the right first step in the direction of building the Suite app. Moving on, the next stage is development of Suite app components. So once we have the architecture in place, we can then move to the development phase. Now, the first step in the development phase is uh, that we'll need to identify and list down all the individual components of the app before starting to script. So each individual component has its own set of use cases and functionality that needs to be defined, and then we can start scripting to achieve the same. We should also make sure that latest scripting technology and techniques are used during this phase, and care should also be taken regarding the configurable information. We should ensure that there is enough room for the end user to be able to use the app and have the ability to make changes to the configurations without actually touching the code base. Now, our experienced technical team can make sure all of these requirements are met, and they can also bring to the table their past experience of building Suite apps along with the technical expertise. Moving on, the next phase we're going to talk about is the Suite app testing. So this is the next important phase of the Suite app creation process, and we need to ensure that all the use cases and test cases are covered and completely tested before the Suite app is ready to be published. So testing needs to be considered for different roles that will be used by the end users along with different contexts. When I say context, it could be the UI context or a CSV import or web services. So we need to consider all these different contexts and different roles while testing the app. Testing also should ensure that all the integration points are verified and that they are functioning as expected. It will be ideal if some load and stress testing also can be performed. Klarna has a dedicated QA team who can ensure a thorough evaluation of the app is done before releasing it. And we specialize in automated testing and the integration point testing along with stress testing. Okay. So once the scripting and testing uh, parts are done, I think the next stage that we are going to talk about is the listing process and the PF and review process for the Suite app. So again, as discussed earlier, the certification process for Suite apps could be a little challenging and also time consuming. So it is suggested that um, we plan anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks for this review and certification process. We need to make sure this time frame is built into your plan while developing the Suite app. So this review process includes filling up a BFN. BFN stands for Built for NetSuite. So a BFN document needs to be filled up, and also uh, we might have to uh, have multiple calls with the NetSuite team where a technical review of the Suite app is performed. So these calls can be technically deep and go down to the level of architecture discussions too in some cases. Um, we at Twarna, we have a lot of experience with the certification process, thanks to all our published Suite apps, and we can help you take care of the same for your Suite app too. And once we have the app certified and ready to be published, the next step that we're going to look at is the deployment support and the post deployment support. So once the Suite app is published and ready for customers, we can help you with the deployment of this app to your end customers. We can take care of any configuration changes or pre-release setup that needs to be done on the end customer account to ensure a smooth deployment of the app. We can also help with training the end customers on how to use and operate the Suite app, and we can also conduct training sessions um, internally for your teams if needed. And then we'll also help with any issues that could crop up for end customers due to the deployment and resolve the same by working closely as one team, by working closely with you and your teams. Um, Coming to post deployment support, so publishing a Suite app and deploying it to a customer is only the start. We would want to, ideally, we would want to keep the Suite app continuously updated and scalable for different client needs that could crop up. So we can help you with the roadmap planning and identifying new features for the Suite app along with future release planning. We can help you keep up with all the latest NetSuite changes and offerings to ensure that your Suite app stays latest and useful for the end customers. Also, another important scenario is uh, some of the end customers might need additional customizations other than your base offering, what your Suite app is offering. So we can build those additional customization only for the required customers and also help maintain and uh, uh, maintain these multiple Suite app bundles for the different customers that you have. Okay. And then we have NetSuite release support. Now, this is again another key phase. So, as all of you are aware, NetSuite has 2 releases every year. Once around March, and the second release will be around the month of September. So, it is important to ensure that your Suite app is functional with every release of NetSuite. Uh, Twarna can help you test the app for every release on the new release preview environment and make sure all the functionalities and features are working with the new release too. Also, Suite app uh, needs to go through the certification and review process for every release, which can also be taken care by the Twarna team. And finally, the documentation. I'm sure this is probably the most overlooked but also very important piece that needs to be taken care of when we are building a Suite app of a bigger magnitude. So we'll provide a thorough documentation of the design details for the Suite app along with all the components and customization or script details that were developed during the Suite app creation process. We can also help with creating a training document if needed for the end customers.
Okay, thanks, Uday. Now that we've understood all the different stages of building a Suite app, can we talk about the benefits of building one?
Sure. So by now it is clear that building a Suite app is not very simple and it requires time and effort invested. So what are the benefits that you could be looking at from building a Suite app? So let's try to cover some of the key benefits here. First and foremost, we're talking about revenue generation. SuiteApp sales provide a revenue stream for your organization, and NetSuite's expansive customer base increases opportunities for reaching a wider market and increasing this revenue generated from app sales. It can also provide a recurring revenue stream, um, contributing to financial success of your organization. The second benefit is market exposure and customer acquisition. So the SuiteApp marketplace is a centralized hub where NetSuite users actively look for solutions, and listing a SuiteApp here increases its visibility and exposure along with your company's exposure to potential new customers. The next benefit is collaboration opportunities. So being part of the SuiteApp marketplace and SDN can open doors to collaboration with other developers, other businesses, or NetSuite partners. And collaborative efforts can lead to improved products and expanded reach to new customer base. And finally, global reach. The SuiteApp marketplace offers a global platform, allowing you to reach businesses and users across different geographical regions. This is indirectly helping your organization to reach out to different regions where customers are based out of, and helping organizations tap into new customer pool.
All right, thanks, Uday. Now let's look at some of the reviews that we have got for our suite apps, Skydoc, inventory count, and bulk email invoices. All right, let's now move on to the client talk section of our webinar. And joining us is our client guest, Amir Afsal from High Radius Corp. But before we get into the Q&A section, a quick poll for our audience, and I'm going to post that on the screen right now. You should see it pop up. And this is just to get to know you a little better. Please take a couple of seconds just to answer that poll. All right.
Hi, Amir.
Hi, Uday.
Hey, thank you so much for doing this. Amir, we just want to understand a little more about your product building experience. And so, can you please explain us a little bit about your product and how you came up with this decision to build a Suite app connector for it?
Sure. All right. Okay. So basically, as HiRadius is one of the leading providers of the autonomous finance platform for the office of the CFO. So HiRadius has a lot of integrated cloud solutions for transforming the order to cash cycle, treasury, and the record to report processes for its clients. Now, to enable the various cloud solutions that HiRadius has and all of its functions, we require certain data sets from the client's ERP system, which is generally the system of record for all of the data that gets generated in an organization. So at this point of time, we thought that it would make more sense that since ERP data is one of the primary data sets that HiRadius Cloud requires, to have a connector for the ERPs that can be readily deployed in the client's instance, and that can fetch the required data sets into HiRadius Cloud. And it should also be able to post back enriched files from the HiRadius Cloud, which can then automate the various downstream processes in the ERP. Say, for example, cash application, deductions management, credit data management, so on and so forth. Then one of the ERPs that we identified for building the connector was NetSuite, since it's one of the major ERPs in the SMB space, and a lot of our clients also had NetSuite as their ERP systems. So yeah, that was basically the thought process, for building the connector and going the standard approach, a productized approach, rather than building a custom interface for each of the implementations.
Got it. Thanks for that explanation, Amir. So, can you also speak briefly about the kind of challenges that you came across during this process of, trying to build this Suite app for NetSuite?
Right. Okay, so even though NetSuite has good integration capabilities and they offer various options like SOAP and REST APIs, but we still faced certain challenges while developing the connector, given that the number of use cases that we wanted to solve were fairly high, and some of the use cases actually that were in scope for us and not very common integration use cases also, especially for the outbound interfaces, which is basically from the HighRadius system into NetSuite, right? So there were multiple scenarios for which we had to write custom scripts actually, because the out of the box offerings of NetSuite simply did not satisfy our requirements. Then in certain other cases, we also encountered limitations of NetSuite itself as well, and we had to optimize the solution to get around those limitations. But overall, I would say it was fairly smooth sailing, and it was a good experience for us building the connector.
Great, good to know. So, on a final note, Amir, HRC has been working with Varna for close to 4 years, or I'd say over 4 years now. So, what do you think about this partnership? You've been here for a long time. How do you think it has evolved over the years?
Yeah, so the partnership with Twarna has been great. It's actually been really great working with Twarna, and most importantly, it's been very easy working with the entire team. We have always received very prompt and good quality support from the team. The and as a especially the technical and functional expertise that you guys bring to the table, right? That makes a lot of difference, which actually shows in the 30 plus live implementation that we have on the connector as of now. And I could say that the partnership has just been growing strong only, and we have actually expanded our engagement even more now. The connector is more robust than ever, and it has actually expanded to covering interfaces to not just enable the HighRadius order to cash cycle solutions, but the HighRadius treasury solutions as well. And as I said before, pretty smooth sailing so far, and I think it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, got it, and appreciate it, Amir. Thank you so much for, again, taking the time to interact with us and our audience, and sharing your thanks for sharing your experience of building the SuiteApp. And for the benefit of our audience, please check out Radius One AR for NetSuite by HighRadius on the SuiteApps marketplace. Also, please feel free to search using the keyword Twarna on the SuiteApps marketplace, and you can check out all the 8 SuiteApps published by us. And hope you found this session informative and helpful. That's it, Tina.
Thank you so much, Amir and Uday.
Thank you.
And thanks to our audience for joining us. If you have any questions, please reach out to us using the information on the screen in front of you. We'll hang around for a couple of more minutes before closing this out, but I hope to see you again in a future session. Thanks again. Bye bye.